guest was a Toronto police officer who worked for 6 years with the RCMP. Michael Harvey is president of Investigative Solutions Network. Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you today?
That was a truly extraordinary news conference for those of us who watched it from beginning to end. The commissioner of the RCMP, Bob Paulson, went to Edmonton. He seemed frustrated that Sean Maxwell Wren had a very complex criminal history and was baffled by why he was on the street. From where you sit as a police officer, as someone who worked with the RCMP, who understands this kind of thing, who is he blaming for this?
I think he's holding, I think his suggestion is it's the criminal justice system in general, and I have to second that opinion. You know, the job of policing is to investigate crime and bring them before the courts. The release process is entirely left up to the prudence of the court system.
So he's blaming the justice system. Is he blaming the parole board as well?
Yeah, I think potentially. I mean, they all work, theoretically, they all work in sync. They're supposed to, their job is to determine who should be allowed to remain out of custody and who must remain in custody. In certain cases, there's a reverse onus situation, but again, it falls to the court to make that decision whether it's prudent and safe to allow these people back out into the general population.
Okay, given the extensive history of violence that we're learning about, would that information not be on computers that are shared by police? Wouldn't the RCMP in St. Albert have known about him?
Oh, absolutely, they would have, but unfortunately they were investigating a stolen vehicle which had no relationship to the now deceased suspect. So they were there for what would seem like a more or less routine call, a stolen vehicle in a parking lot, and during the course of their investigation, they found the person who they believed to be in possession of that stolen vehicle, but I would doubt that they ever had any opportunity to identify him before the confrontation began. All
right, and the role of an auxiliary police officer in all of this, the fact that he does not have a weapon, he didn't stand a chance in that situation.
No, absolutely not. I mean, that would be common, though. All auxiliary police officers, including those in Toronto, or I believe they have more than 1,000 RCMP auxiliaries. They're all, well, they're armed, but only to a certain level. They may, in fact, have an aerosol, something like pepper spray, and they may, in fact, carry a baton and handcuffs, but that would be the extent of their arms.
Well, Michael, the report last week into the RCMP and the killings in Moncton last year.
Yes.
Bottom line, the RCMP is not properly equipped. That's what I took away from that. Is there anything that could have prevented the tragic circumstances of this weekend had they been better equipped?
No, I don't think equipment was at all an issue here, although I believe one of the auxiliary officer was wounded in the torso, and I'm assuming that if he was wearing body armor that it was either a side wound or a low torso wound. So equipment-wise, there was nothing that they could do. They were taken by surprise. There was really not much time to react in those situations, and the result is the result.
So it all goes back to, Michael, how we started this conversation, and that is changes are needed according to the commissioner in the justice system.
I totally agree. I think we'd all be shocked. I know I've been shocked many times to find people out on release that, you know, in my limited opinion, should not be in fact trusted to be out. And frequently we find this, and I think it would be, you know, it's prudent of all of us to try and understand how people get released. I think that's what we need to consider.
Okay, Michael Harvey, president of Investigative Solutions Network. Thank you.
Thank you.